Right now, I want to welcome in Larry Klayman. He is a former federal prosecutor. He's the founder of the group Freedom Watch. He is also at freedomwatchusa.org. And Larry, welcome to the program. It is good to see you. We've got a lot of stuff to talk to you about. Don't have a whole lot of time to do it, so I'm going to squeeze it in really, really fast. Latest polls down in Alabama have Roy Moore up by 6 points. That seems rather incredible given all the news that's happened, but it raises a very serious issue. He could win. And if he wins, you've got Mitch McConnell and a number of Republicans in the Senate saying we're going to reject him. They're not going to let him stay. Well, it's two issues that come to mind here. One is, first of all, this is the guy Alabama decided they wanted to put in, if that's what happens. This is their decision, not any of ours, okay? And second, legally, can the Senate say, no, we're not going to seat this guy or recognize him?
Depends what the definition of is in many ways.
Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate that.
Right. Legally, they may perhaps have a point that they can do this, but it won't hold up. They tried this once with Adam Clayton Powell. It failed many years ago when I was a young boy. You were a young boy. It's not going to work. And McConnell doesn't have the guts to do that. I mean, the guy's got no guts at all in any respect. He's not going to go up against the will of the people in Alabama and alienate the Tea Party and alienate the conservative Republican base. So as a practical matter, he can threaten all he wants, but he's not going to avoid having to seat Judge Roy Moore.
Yeah, and you said alienate the Tea Party. I mean, McConnell's done a lot of that in his career as a majority leader. But, you know, one point I just wanted to make is regardless of whether or not they want to caucus with Roy Moore, whether there's some semblance of a boycott against him, he still does get his one vote in the Senate. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
It is. You know, and I was predicting this was going to happen because this looks like a political hit. It smells like a political hit. It likely is a political hit. And let's say, you know, in Alabama where the legal age is 16, let's say he did date or try to date some young women in those days. You know, it's been 40 years. And even the president now has come around and is supporting him. And people see that this just smells. And it's part and parcel to nearly everything the Republican establishment does. And if they want to lose their so-called base, at least people that will vote for them, go ahead. I don't think they have the guts to not seat Roy Moore.
All right, I'm going to throw you a real big curve here because it's not on our list of topics, but I was sitting here waiting for the show to start again, and I found out that the International Criminal Court has decided it may take American soldiers to task for war crimes committed in Afghanistan. In short, it sounds like the International Criminal Court's going to decide it has authority over American citizens. That comes in addition to the news early that was last week when we had the far left group that was being funded by George Soros saying they were going to commit massive amounts of money to elect radically left-wing liberal attorneys generals in cities and prosecutors. They've done it in Philadelphia. The goal here, and I don't have the piece of paper in front of me, is to radically overhaul the American justice system. This sounds dead serious to me. Your reaction?
It is dead serious. In fact, as you know, in my view, the American legal system has already been taken over. Yep. You've got 90 to 95% Obama and Clinton appointees. Just yesterday, Judge Orrick enjoined Attorney General Jeff Sessions and the Justice Department from withholding aid to sanctuary cities. President Trump has lost every lower court decision. He did win one at the Supreme Court temporarily, but the judiciary has been infested, I mean that seriously, infested with leftist judges who don't follow the law, much more the Constitution, but follow their politics. So Soros is just going to add insult to injury. And in fact, we already have leftist prosecutors throughout the land. And I'm dealing with one out there in Las Vegas right now. I'm helping to defend the Bundys, Klayman Bundy and his sons. A leftist prosecutor who has committed gross prosecutorial abuse. And I filed a lawsuit to force the Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibility and Inspector General to investigate and remedy it and order Jeff Sessions to dismiss the case.
Well, let me ask you.
Defendfund.org.
Well, let me ask you, is this a failure to, quote, drain the swamp? I mean, I remember at the beginning, at the outset of the administration, Jeff Sessions requesting the resignation of the federal prosecutors that were still holdovers from the Obama administration. Now, the numbers that you just read off there earlier were startling to me. I mean, why hasn't the Trump administration gone forward and tried to appoint more of their own federal prosecutors?
They are trying, and in fact, we're trying to assist them. We have a Judicial Strike Force Coalition. You can find that at freedomwatchusa.org. But the Democrats are blocking it. It always happens. It's very slow. It's going to be a slow process. It's going to be 8 years, and let's hope President Trump gets reelected, to get more conservative judges and libertarian judges on the bench. But right now, we have radical left-wing judges by and large, and it's very, very difficult when you bring a political case. There's a level playing field when I'm representing private clients and in court, you know, in business matters or other matters. But if there's a political aspect to the case, 9% approximately of the judges on the federal bench are highly leftist at this point, after 16 out of the last 24 years where President Clinton was appointing judges and, of course, then President Barack Obama.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I understand that the Trump administration has finally got its act together, presented a whole bunch of nominees to the Senate, but I understand the Senate is sitting on top of these folks, and that is not helpful, and it's really strange because I keep doing the math, and every time I do the math, the Republicans are still in control of the House, the Republicans are still in control of the Senate, and I believe the Republicans are still in control of Congress. But it doesn't seem that way. Larry, I've got to cut things short here. Too little time with you today, but really appreciate you taking the time. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll speak to you after the holiday. Thank you.